Perrserker is a unique Pokemon from Generation 8 with Steely Spirit, increasing the power of itself and its ally Steel type moves. It hasn't really been shown too much in VGC, however, it does have some very fun combinations that we've seen in the past with Zacian, and this time we're going to be pairing it with Dondozo and Choice Band Scizor with the Technician Bullet Punch with Terra Steel. Should be able to do a lot of damage. I'm excited to see how this team performs. This team features Dondozo with Perrserker and Choice Band Scizor. There are a lot of fun things you can do with this team where you have the Scizor and Dondozo lead, which is very effective because it creates a mind game immediately, whether the Dondozo is going to switch out to Perrserker and the Bullet Punch is going to happen with the Scizor, or you have the Tatsugiri that could switch in for the Scizor slot, and then Dondozo is just able to do Dondozo things and do a lot of damage. You have quite a few combinations, and you could go for a Dondozo cleanup, or you could go for endgame Choice Band Scizor cleanup with the Steely Spirit. It does so much damage with that Steely Spirit plus the Choice Band Technician alongside Terra Steel support. Then you have Xianpao, which also helps out against opposing Dondozo with Haze. That can also allow Scizor to do more damage. And the Iron Hands with Fake Out support and just a good general Pokemon for bulky waters, which this team does appreciate it being able to hit. If you do want to check out the details of the team and the creator, you can check them out in the description down below. Mousehold, Annihilate, Bagudra, Tinglu, Grimmsnarl, Mungus. There are some Pokemon I haven't really seen too much of in a while. The Tinglu especially, and then the Mousehold with Annihilate. Alright, so we have quite a few options. Our Steel types actually look pretty good here because I have Taunt on Perrserker with Chople Berry, which is actually pretty decent here. And then we got the Scizor with the Choice Band. Ooh, it can definitely do some pretty heavy damage. I do kind of like it. I think I'm going to go with the Perrserker plus Scizor, because I could deny screens or force a Terra from Grimmsnarl. And a Terra with Grimmsnarl is like a lot easier to handle, I think. Dondozo in the back seems really good. Do I have Haze on Xianpao? I don't think I do, right? It's just like standard. Oh, no, I do have Haze on Xianpao. So that's an option. I don't even think I need. Actually, do I? Oh, man, I have some options. Do I even need the Dondozo mode? That's the question. It is helpful for Annihilate, but Annihilate can be a little bit concerning if so. But I like the idea of Sacred Sword pressuring the Gudra. Like, Xianpao is really good offensively into their team, so I'm kind of wondering if I should even bring the Tatsugiri. The Tatsugiri doesn't really do much other than, like, I guess, like, special attacks, but I don't even know if it's worth. I think you know what? No Tatsugiri, or maybe it should have been no Dondozo. I was kind of running out of time, so I wasn't sure if I should bring the Tatsugiri for a Muddy Water endgame, or if I bring Dondozo just because it's like pretty hard for my opponent to break through immediately. But if it is like Terra Water or Terra Fire on the Annihilate, I think I have some tools to handle it. With the Terra Grass, and I have the Oblivious. I just got to make sure the beat up doesn't really go off. We're going to see the Grimmsnarl and the Gudra, which is a really dang good lead for me, I think. So pretty happy about this. I can just go for a Fake Out if I want to into the Gudra, and I can go for the Bullet Punch immediately. And if the Grimmsnarl wants to Terra, it has to Terra here in order to set up screens. I think that's a completely okay trade-off. And it looks like no Terra's involved, so Fake Out into the Gudra. Rocky Helmet, what? Okay. Bullet Punch gonna come out. We outspeed the Grimmsnarl before it can reflect. Goodbye, Grimmsnarl. No more screens. That's pretty huge for the matchup right here. Rocky Helmet Gudra. Okay. So we are able to have the Gudra flinch this turn. Got rid of the Grimmsnarl. Annihilate coming in. Who can I knock out the Annihilate with Helping Hands? Bullet Punch with Terra? Oh man, that would go crazy here if I could. But I could also taunt the Gudra, which isn't a bad option either. I think I do want to taunt the Gudra, and I do just want to go for the Bullet Punch into the Annihilate and get as much damage as I possibly can. Because they're probably Drain Punching. So look at that damage. Help me out with a KO'd. Bulk up gonna come out, but they are super low with that Annihilate. Holy cow, that is low. We are going to get the taunt off before the Gudra can get an attack off. So, yeah, that's pretty huge because that is a acid armor. Yep. Yep. Oh, this is fantastic. The Bullet Punch is going to pressure the Annihilate slot. What can I do with the Perrserker? I guess I'm just gonna go for the Helping Hand Bullet Punch with the Scizor because I can pretty much just get rid of. I can clear the way for the Annihilate. The Annihilate can protect here, but that's okay. Like, The Gudra's not doing much damage. Maybe with the Chople Berry, sure, but like I've already done my job. I think I need with Perrserker. Like it's really been helping out. The taunt already, the bullet punch into the Annihilate. Like they don't have a switch. They really do not have a good switch for it. So very happy about this. They go for the body press. I have the Chople Berry, which will allow me to take the attack. Oh my goodness, like how little that damage was. How little that damage was. Fantastic, fantastic position. Helping Hand bullet punch is just going to cover Terra on Annihilate. I'm able to obliterate it. They do not have a switch in the back. They really don't. So let's go for that Helping Hand. Let's go for that bullet punch once again into the Annihilate slot. And let's see if we can pick up that knockout as quick as we possibly can. Let's see, because either Annihilate goes down. Fantastic for my Xian Pao. If they go out into something like what, Ting Lu is going to take a bunch of damage. Amoonguss probably not going to get knocked out, but a lot of damage. Mousehold would get knocked out. It is the Amoonguss coming in, which is fine here, as we are going to be able to go for the Helping Hand. And this is a good amount of damage into the Amoonguss with the Steely Spirit bullet punch choice. Oh my goodness, that did so much. That did so much. Everything in that side is in range of bullet punch now. Body press going to come out in Perrserker. We are able to survive barely. Taunt going to wear off from the Gudra, but completely fine. I can taunt the Gudra once again, make sure it cannot set up, and then I just bullet punch the Amoonguss. I think even if Amoonguss tears, it will go down. They go for a Rage Powder, which is completely fine because the bullet punch is going to come out first. Break through the Amoonguss right here. So now the taunt is not redirected. Going to be able to hit the Gudra. And oh man, this is such an ideal position. Here comes a taunt into the Gudra. Oh, this is so good. Body press going to come out, finish off my Perrserker, but Perrserker has done its job that I needed to do. I guess Xian Pao is probably my play here. I do like Xian Pao. Yeah, I do like Xian Pao because we do have the Sword of Ruin that will be able to help out the damage output into the Annihilate, where I think even if it terras, the Annihilate terras, I'm pretty sure Bullet Punch will still be able to pick up the knockout with all the boosts. And I think I'm going to Terra Ghost my Xian Pao and just go for a Sacred Sword into the Gudra. So let's just go for that Sacred Sword. Let's go for that Bullet Punch. If they Terra the Gudra into defensive typing, I think the only one that's a little bit concerning might be Water, but we'll find out. We are going to Terra our Xian Pao because we don't want to get hit by a Body Press or a Heavy Slam, especially with this being Rocky Helmet on the Gudra. So I don't think they have a move that can one-shot the Xian Pao, unless, again, the Annihilate terrors, it survives a Bullet Punch somehow, and then, yeah, they're just going to protect, which is completely fine. So really ideal here. Bullet Punch going to go into the Annihilate's Protect. We're going to get a Sacred Sword off. How much damage does this do to the Gudra? Yeah, about half. So I just don't see them having a chance to really win anymore. They go for a Heavy Slam. So they do get my Xian Pao easily low, but nowhere near enough damage was done here. I think now my best play is to probably just Ice Spinner the Annihilate and Bullet Punch as well. They can't really go for a double. Well, they could go for a double protect if the Gudra terras, which I think would be okay here because they're not knocking out my Xian Pao with what the board is right now. The Gudra's already extremely low. I think the Gudra might be forced to Terra here. So there's like two options that they have here. Is Terra the Gudra or Terra the Annihilate. If they Terra the Annihilate, I don't know if they live the Bullet Punch still. I think like Gudra's most likely going to Terra here, which is why I'm going for the Ice Spinner. Oh no, Annihilate does Terra. So this still ends up working out well. Because if they did live the Bullet Punch somehow because of the Leftovers recovery, I get the 2-shot into Annihilate with the Ice Spinner plus Bullet Punch cover. And then Gudra's not able to finish off either of my Pokemon and I still win. So regardless, this was fine. Yeah, like the Leftovers recovery looked like just brought them out of range of the Bullet Punch. So Ice Spinner going to be able to come out, finish off the Annihilate. I actually think they still lost by this play because I could have just Sacred Sword to Gudra. The Bullet Punch goes in Annihilate, and then they're in range of either a Bullet Punch or Sucker Punch the following turn. So kind of surprised actually that they end up going for that. Because yeah, the Gudra can't protect. I just wasn't sure if the Gudra was going to Terra or not, but yeah, it ends up working out well because I did double up the Annihilate, and now I just get a free Sacred Sword, and I Sacred Sword the Gudra here, and I swap out the Scizor into my Dundozo because I can go for a close combat afterward because I can switch moves. Like Bullet Punch, I don't think it's gonna really work against this steel type Gudra, but close combat will in the end game. We'll bring our Dundozo. We'll just take a sword, finish off the Gudra, and that is, oh man, Perrserker went crazy. Perrserker Scizor went crazy. The damage output was absolutely insane. Don't even really know what to say, but was able to clear up. Like, I saw that it was able to do well against the team. They didn't have the best switches, but man, like, I thought it would, but I didn't think it'd be executed that cleanly here. As you just saw, planning and execution are important skills to have in VGC. If you are interested in learning more about the in-depths of VGC to improve your gameplay, I am happy to announce that I am partnering with a brand new startup, esportsmatch.co. Esportsmatch allows you to get access to exclusive group coaching and lectures in Pokemon VGC to gain insight from some of the best players in the world, including myself, 2016 World Champion Wolf Glick, 2018 World Champion Paul Reese, two-time international runner-up Gabriel Legati, and 2023 NAIC champion Alex Gomez, with more potentially coming soon. You can also fill out a survey and get matched with potential practice partners to hone your skills. On top of everything else, Esports Match is running an online exclusive grassroots tournament circuit leading up to an invitational with up to approximately $20,000 in cash prizes. The first tournament for this circuit is this upcoming weekend from this video, July 29th, with a $1,000 prize pool. I am very excited for this project since I think it can benefit a large majority of players. If you would like to check out the details for everything, they will be linked in the description down below. But let us continue with the Perrserker gameplay. Tornadus, Urshifu, Xianpao, Fluttermane, Dragonite, Cresselia. Cresselia is kind of random on this team, but alright. Perrserker Scizor could do a lot of work here. There is the... I want to bring Dundozo. They don't really have a good answer to Dundozo, like straight up. So I kind of like the Dundozo mode. I think Iron Hands isn't bad here, but I don't really like it too much. I think I'm going to go with Scizor plus Dundozo. I think it's a really good effective combination, and then have like Tatsugiri plus Perrserker in the back. Because their main way of dealing damage to Dundozo seems like would be the Fluttermane. And if it's, or if it's Urshifu Dark, I don't think it's Dark Urshifu with Xianpao. On this team, I feel like they need answers to like Heatran and Fire types. I feel like it would be Water or Shifu on this team. I like the idea of Scizor because they can pressure the Fluttermane, and then they bring out the physical attackers. I just retreat into Tatsugiri and then get some damage off. I think ideally the win con here is just like trying to set up for the Scizor endgame and try to break through as much as I can with my Dundozo, break Sash on the Xianpao, break Multiscale on the Dragonite, and Urshifu needs to be weakened or knocked out. Those are probably like the main ones I want to consider here. If we can just get the Urshifu weakened, I'm pretty happy with our position. So let's see. We're going to see the Fluttermane and the Tornadus. So this ends up working out extremely well. I will lead my my Scizor and my Dundozo. This is going to be a booster energy with the speed booster. Okay, I don't think speed booster runs Terra Water, so I'm in a really good spot here. They don't have a steel. They don't have a switch in other than Urshifu. So I'm kind of curious if I can just bullet punch the Torn immediately or not. Because I could bullet. Actually, I have a few plays I could go for, huh? I could go for bullet punch into the Tornadus and hard switch into Perrserker, and I'll have fake out pressure and also Steely Spirit, which I think is really good here. I don't see a swap from them, so this could be protect from Fluttermane, which is fine in this case. I don't mind if they protect. Yeah, like if they protect, that's fine. They're actually still in a way worse position unless the Torn does go down to Bullet Punch, which I'm not sure of. Does it depend on the Torn? That's a really bulky Torn. Okay, they go for Bleak Wind, which doesn't do much damage here, which is very, very good. Guess the speed drop on Perrserker, not that big of a deal. I can just bullet punch away at their team. I'm gonna bullet punch the Torn, and I think I'm just gonna go for an Iron Head, or do I want to taunt? I could also double out here. Doubling out isn't too bad. I can go back into Dundozo because I'm expecting the Fluttermane to switch out into the Urshifu. That's what I would expect here. And I kind of don't mind going for the swap here. You know what? Yeah, let's go back into Dundozo. And not for the Scizor slot. Let's bullet punch the Torn, which should pick up the knockout at this range. Let's go out into Dundozo, because I feel like Urshifu has to come out here. Oh, they retreated the Torn into Urshifu. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. I mean, it still kind of works out. I get some chip into the Urshifu. Scizor's still in a really good Bullet Punch endgame position. Does it? Is it defensive Terra? No, it's not defensive Terra. Okay, so I do get the Bullet Punch in Urshifu. That's actually some pretty good damage. Shadow Ball gonna come out. Okay, Scizor should live because it's a speed booster. Yeah. Okay. Tatsugiri can come in. And I like the idea of just going for an order up into Urshifu. Just get the damage in Urshifu. I don't really need the damage in a Flutter. Urshifu is the biggest threat if I can get damage in Urshifu. Like, the Flutter Mane's not really doing much damage if it's speed booster, so Urshifu is definitely the target I do want to hit for the most. And once I get an order up, then I can go for an Earthquake into these, and maybe a +3 Earthquake could knock out this Flutter Mane. It depends on the Flutter Mane spread. There could also be a... Well, there is no Torn swap. Nothing swapped out this turn. They went for Aqua Jet. Okay, perfect. And Moonblast? Energy Ball. Okay. I'm not too concerned. That did a bit more damage than I expected, but not a KO. Order up is going to come out into the Urshifu. Got it in range of very powerful Bullet Punches later, so that's pretty nice. Get the leftovers recovery. Do I need to save Terra on my Scizor or my Perrserker? Not really. So I think, well, if it's Xian Pao, I don't want a Terra. I think the Dondozo. I think I'd rather just go for the Earthquake now and just get as much heavy damage as I possibly can. Urshifu is going to detect, which is fine. If Flutter Mane and Urshifu actually survive the turn, this is okay for me. As they go for an Energy Ball into Dondozo, I take more chip, but that's okay. Earthquake going to come out. All right. Do I knock out the Flutter Mane here? That would be really nice if I do. If I don't, I could Terra Earthquake, which is okay. But I do knock out Flutter Mane. Yeah, the Flutter Mane seemed really offensive with how much damage it was doing with Energy Ball. So I had a feeling. Now, depending on their back Pokemon, if they go Torn, I get to knock out Urshifu or like catch whatever's coming in for that slot, which I'm okay with. Dragonite coming in, that's acceptable here. Because the Dragonite... I mean, they have, what, Terra still available? Which is okay. I don't know if Urshifu switches out or not. I like the idea of going for order up. The question is into who is a good question. I think I would still want to order up the... Ooh, this is tricky because I think they go out into... I kind of want to Wave Crash a Dragonite on a read. I think it might be worth going for the Wave Crash read. They stayed in with both. All right. Was not expecting to stay in with both, but that's kind of acceptable. What Terra is this Dragonite? It is Terra normal. So they're going for Extreme Speed. Extreme Speed Aqua Jet shouldn't KO. Did I get the Wave Crash? I think I should still be okay here. Because I'm pretty sure Tatsugiri next to Scizor should be able to win this endgame. Because there's no way this KOs the Dondozo. Even with Aqua Jet, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like there's no way they're KOing. Yeah. So I get a Wave Crash off into the Dragonite. But I guess the close combat gets redirected into the Tatsugiri because I did knock out the Dragonite, so this ended up not working out. I thought the Torn was coming in for Shifu and they were just going to Extreme Speed. That way they could still have the Aqua Jet and Extreme Speed factor to help out against the Perrserker. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty close end game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because Tatsugiri just went down here. All right. I think it comes down to does Torn have Protect? If Torn doesn't have Protect, I think the game is sealed here. Because I can just fake out the Urshifu and I could Bullet Punch the Torn. So, I haven't exactly gotten all the reads right. I got like the turn one and then like everything else kind of snowballed afterward. But I think I have enough firepower to secure the game as long as it's not Protect Torn. If it's Protect Torn... Well, even if it's Protect Torn, I think I could still win. Just because Perrserker is really tough for them to actually break through, right? So I'm going to Bullet Punch the Torn slot. And I'm going to fake out the Urshifu. And I think I have the game secured otherwise. Yeah, they protect their Urshifu, so I win the game 100% with the Bullet Punch. Actually, I think I had the game anyway sealed because if both of them had Protect, I would Bullet Punch their Urshifu and Iron Head. They can only pick up the knockout and one, and I think they have to Aqua Jet the Scizor, which means I don't think the Torn can beat my Perrserker on a 1v1. Yeah. Close. Was not how I envisioned the game to go at all, but... AMA was secured here. I'm going to go for Bullet Punch. I'm going to go for my Terra Steel and Iron It. Just in case, for some reason, I wouldn't have KO'd the Urshifu with Iron Head, even though it's -1 with Steel Spirit. Just gotta make sure I get the guaranteed, because I don't know my Perrserker calcs. I know it has decent attack, but we don't risk it out here if we don't have to. So go for the Terra Steel with our Perrserker. Aqua Jet should be coming out. Yep, they're gonna Aqua Jet my Scizor. Scizor goes down. A Perrserker will get the final knockout, hopefully into the Urshifu. So here comes Iron Head, and let's blow up the Urshifu, hopefully. So nice. Okay. just to be sure. So I wasn't sure about like a lot of the positioning that I thought I had. Like the Scizor was fantastic. The turn 1 couldn't have gone really better than I expected. Turn 2 could have been a lot different. I could have went for a Bullet Punch and a Flutter Mane Iron Head. I wasn't too sure on that. I ended up kind of hurting me, but because I thought if they were going to try to sack anything, it would be the Torn and not the Flutter Mane. Sliverwing, Stonjourner, Uxie, Articuno Sneasler, Wochien. What is this team that I'm facing? Okay. So Sliverwing's not a fire type. It's fighting bugs, so it doesn't resist Bullet Punch. Although a lot of them do run Terra Fire. Their Dondozo matchup is really strange, but they do have a Wochien, which actually makes Dondozo really hard for me to actually like utilize to break through their team, mainly because I fall victim to the Wochien if that's the case. So I think not exactly an easy matchup per se. I think my best combination is probably not even to bring the Dozo, or maybe like bring it in the back but not have Dozo Giri. I do really like Scizor. I like Iron Hands. I like Perrserker. I think it's either Tatsugiri or Dondozo. I don't really like Champound this matchup. It doesn't do nearly enough, I think, here. And the Dondozo's not bad. It's able to sponge up attacks from the Stonjourner. It's probably able to sponge up a lot of attacks. The reason I want to bring Tatsugiri potentially is because Stonjourner is actually a little bit hard to break through. Although it doesn't do that much damage to my team, I suppose. So I think I should be okay with Dondozo. Let's see. Definitely one heck of a team, though. I will say that. I have no idea what to expect from this team. Like, there's not really much I could say. There's Power Spot plays. There's a Sneasler out there. Sneasler Sliverwing. What am I supposed to expect here? Scizor Iron Hands will come out as a lead. I'm okay with this lead. Oh wait, they have access to Fake Out, so this isn't ideal. Okay, Booster Energy gonna be the attack. Yeah, I think I want to go out into Dondozo here, and I think I'm gonna just attempt to Fake Out the Sliverwing. I'm thinking this is Flare Blitz into Scizor and Fake Out into Iron Hands turn 1. If I was confident Bullet Punch knocking out with Terra Steel Bullet Punch with Perrserker, I'd definitely go for it. But yeah, we do see the Fake Out. We're going to see Flare Blitz. Close combat. Okay. That did so much damage, actually. All right. Okay, that Sliverwing is doing a lot, and I mean a lot of damage. I need to get rid of that mon as soon as possible. If they go to Stonjourner, do they knock me out with the Power Spot? I hope not. I'm like here. My Dondozo is only for the Sliverwing though, so if I can get rid of the Sliverwing, it's a good trade for me. So I'm going for the Sliverwing knockout. I see the Sliverwing switch out though, which is smart. AD Preserve it. Is this the Uxie? I was expecting Wochien, but that works too. Iron Claw is fine. Poison's okay because I was going to KO myself to Wave Crash. All right, this works out. This actually works out pretty well. I am going to be able to get the Wave Crash off into the Uxie. Get some okay damage. It's not a knockout, but it's still pretty good. I am going to be able to get a Wall Charge off into the Uxie as well for some chip. But that Sliverwing, I mean, I guess like it doesn't have the booster energy anymore, so that's actually like pretty significant. I can go out into Scizor pretty safely, click Bullet Punch into Sneasler. I think I can Bullet Punch a Sneasler and swap out into my Perrserker. I don't know. Are you Focus Sash, Sneasler? I think Focus Sash would be on the Stonjourner more likely than the Sneasler. That's what I would think. I think the Bullet Punch KOs the Sneasler too, because Sneasler does not have good defense at all. So I guess we'll both find out together. This is Focus Sash, because I would expect Stonjourner. Like Stonjourner is the one I'm thinking that's gonna have Focus Sash on this team. or power spot to keep it as long as possible for power spot. Bullet Punch going to come out into Sneasler. Okay, we do knock out the Sneasler, which is nice, but the Perrserker. Uxie is going to get something off though, which is going to be the Thunderbolt. Okay. Into Scizor. All right. So this is Wo-Chien coming in. Interesting. Okay. I am very confused on like how this endgame is going to play out now. I'm going to Bullet Punch the Uxie, I suppose, and I'm just going to fake out the Wo-Chien, which is my best play here. Get rid of Uxie, forcing the 2v3 position. This is such a... This endgame's so weird. Okay, we see a Terra from the Wo-Chien. We're going to find out what they locked themselves into. Water? Electric. All right, a bit shocking here for Terra Electric Wo-Chien, but it works out. I'm able to Bullet Punch the Uxie and pick up the knockout on the Uxie. Okay. Oh, that Sliver Ring's still going to be a pain, but... okay, Matt. It's okay now. This position's not awful. Leftovers on the Wo-Chien. That's fine. Okay. So this is Sliverwing. This is my concern. Sliverwing's actually very, very much concerned. I'm actually willing to go for... Do they close combat? Do they flare this? I am willing to go for my Bullet Punch here into Sliverwing and go for the Helping Hand and try to pick up the knock on Sliverwing. Or do as much damage as I possibly can, because that Sliver Ring's just such a pain for me to deal with that I think I'd rather just like... Because my only real damage output that outspeeds it immediately and threatens it is the Scizor combination. So I think I have to risk it here. Bring out the Terra Steel Scizor, Helping Hand, Bullet Punch. There is the Tablets of Ruin, so I don't know. But I feel like if I go Iron Hands, I'm taking too much damage on a win con. I need to break through the Wo-Chien, because I think I do need to have Iron Hands break through the Wo-Chien for the end game. So here comes Bullet Punch. That does so much. That does so much. They foul play. The Scizor. Good. All right. I think we have sealed it up. I think. I'm swapping out an Iron Hands and I'm clicking Taunt into the Wo-Chien. Actually, was this even worth it? I don't even know if Scizor outspeeds the Wo-Chien. Maybe it's better to just let the Scizor go down here. But you know what? We'll take it. We're going to go for a Taunt into the Wo-Chien. The Wo-Chien can't do much damage. I can go for a help. And they went for Leech Seed. Okay, so that ends up being fantastic. I can go for a Drain Punch here into Wo-Chien and Helping Hand. Nice. Okay, perfect. And then afterward, oh man, then we could go for EQs if we want to. We can... Let's see how much the Drain Punch does, though. The Drain Punch would still do a decent amount with the Helping Hand. Foul Play, Leech Seed. Pollen Puff was the big one I was concerned about earlier if they survived, but they didn't. Foul Play going to come out of Perrserker. Decent amount of damage. Here comes a Drain Punch. It is getting Leftovers recovery, but I think I still am doing enough damage to win. I think. I'm going to Helping Hand, Drain Punch again. And this is the last turn of Taunt, but I am going to be able to Taunt him one more time so they never get Leech Seed off. Perrserker looks like there's another Foul Play, so I think I should be fine to win this game. Foul Play going to come out in a Perrserker. Ooh, yeah, like even for crit. I was thinking like crit would be close, but not enough. We are going to be able to get a Drain Punch once again, and now we can go for our Taunt Drain Punch. I'm pretty sure we saw Perrserker move before the Wo-Chien. If I didn't, my eyes lie, but I'm pretty sure Leech Seed on the turn I taunted. So yeah, it did. Otherwise we wouldn't have seen that interaction. So let's go for that Drain Punch. Let's go for a taunt here. If it's a speed tie for some reason, which it could be, it doesn't really... They switch up. I had to switch up my Iron Hands, but I think I'd still be able to win the game by itself. They protect to get Leftovers recovery, which makes sense. But I think Taunt, Drain Punch into Earthquake should always just seal this up here. So I think we're good. I think. Drain Punch, Taunt. We never want them to get a Leech Seed off ever. I guess I could help Hand Earthquake now, but in case they tried to go for a double protect to get more Leech Seed recovery, there's no chance I'm self-earthquaking myself in this position. They went for the Leech Seed, yep. I think they were hoping that I would go for Helping Hand Drain Punch. Did not work out for them, and now I'm going to be able to seal up the game because Helping Hand Drain Punch should knock out the Wo-Chien now, and I still have Scizor in the back if they knock out my Perrserker, and if they don't knock out my Perrserker, I'm still getting Helping Hand attacks off, so yeah, there's no shot. Crazy team! Crazy team! The Sliverain close combat did so much damage that I was not expecting, but I don't even know what to say, man. That team was nuts. Like, that team was nuts. I don't know what else to say about it. Sneasler, Regidrago, Goldengo, Landisfarian, Tornadus, and the Indy. We've actually used this team before on this channel, so oh boy, Dragon Energy plus Make It Rain. Very hard to switch into. Very hard to switch into. So we got to think about this because Psychic Terrain's actually screwing me over because I can't Bullet Punch the Regidrago for heavy amounts of damage, which is actually making this a lot harder than it could be. I want to go with the Dondozo. I want to go with the Scizor lead still. I think it's still pretty decent. I think Perrserker, because I want a Dragon Energy switch again, and Bullet Punch is also still like pretty tempting. And then bring the Tatsugiri. Iron Hands, it's not bad to switch into gold, but it's really not amazing into like Landers, Regidrago. And Regidrago is going to be the offensive tool. I don't like my matchup of Sneaser's going to be a pain. Dire Claw is such a big factor here. So that's something I'm also going to have to watch out for. The thing is, if they leave like Sneasler, Regidrago, they have to choose between like Indy coming in for Psychic Terrain and other factors. Like they have to play a Mind Game too. We're going to see the Tornadus Goldengo, which is an interesting lead here. Okay. So this is actually such a weird lead for me. Or specifically, if I switch in my Perrserker, I take a huge amount from Make It Rain, which I don't think I want. So I don't know if they're going to click Thunderbolt either, because I really don't want to risk my Dondozo here. Is it risking the Tatsugiri? It's Sash Torn. Yeah, this is actually very tough of a situation. I don't know if they have Indy in the back. I think my best play might be just to Wave Crash to Goldengo, trying to eliminate as quick as possible and go out in a Tatsugiri and find out what happens next. Because Goldengo is just such a big problem. Just because Make It Rain is just so hard to switch into. So we're going to bring out our Commander or our Tatsugiri. Make It Rain won't do too much damage, but Thunderbolt is still doing a chunk, which is why I still want to target down the Goldengo. Let's see. That one is going to come out from the Torn. Is this Make It Rain or Thunderbolt is a question. Gonna be Thunderbolt. Okay, so could have switched into Perrserker. I take a lot of damage from the Thunderbolt. Wave Crash is going to come out into the Goldengo. Doesn't pick up the knockout, which that's not great for me. Or is it? I think it's probably fine. I didn't use Dondozo nearly as much as I thought I would, but like I don't think it's too bad. Because I think it has to be Regidrago in the back, and then the question is it Indy as the last Pokemon for the terrain, or if it's like something else like Sneasler or Lando. If like Sneasler or Lando is like completely fine here. I'm gonna go for a order up into the Torn and just try to break a Focus Sash. Bleak Windstorm gonna come out. I don't want to Terra Grass in this situation, so that's fine. The Dondozo pretty low, thankfully just no crit. Here comes the Thunderbolt, which is again, I don't mind the Thunderbolt coming out. So Dondozo goes down, and gonna go out into Scizor now. I think we'll probably live a Thunderbolt plus Bleak Windstorm unless they target Tatsugiri specifically. They gotta worry about Bullet Punch. I don't know if they're gonna bring out the Indy now. I do kind of want to just try to U-turn and Muddy Water to Torn and maybe see if I can pick up a knockout. So I think that's what I'm gonna try to do, because I could see Indy switching in, or if it's the Goldengo switching out in Indy, that's fine too. Landorus going to come in, which is actually pretty ideal because I get Muddy Water off into the Landorus and get some pretty big damage for Bullet Punch. I actually don't think they have Indy in the back, so I think everything might be in Bullet Punch range soon. Icy Wind going to come out, which is also really good because it wasn't Bleak Wind Storm. So I'll happily take this turn. Yeah, I'll happily take this turn. These have been some really good turns for me. Muddy Water does connect with both. Fortunate. Very good damage into Landorus. We get an accuracy drop on the Torn, which could be helpful. I don't know if it will be. Iron Head U-turn is going to come out. Actually, it could be because I think I can reposition Scizor back in. Bullet Punch is so threatening to them. I am going to bring up Perrserker. And now I can Bullet Punch very safely with Scizor. If they have the Indy in the back, I'm gonna cry, man, because I just don't see it happening. But yeah, fake out the Assault Vest Landorus, go out into Scizor, and then we threaten him with Bullet Punch afterwards. So we could go for Muddy Water here realistically and get 2 knockouts, but then I'm kind of in a weird spot against Regidrago plus Golden Go getting a double knockout, and I'm not sure if Scizor would have enough firepower to exactly win the game from there. They keep going for Icy Wind over Bleak Wind, which is just interesting because the speed drops don't really affect the game at all. So I'll take it. I'm going to go for my Terra here with my Scizor. Yeah, I'm going to Terra with my Scizor. I'm going to go for the Iron Head into you, and I'm just going to Bullet Punch the Landorus. They're going to save me both too, not even preserve the Landorus. I thought maybe Gold would be sacked there, but they gave me the Landorus. That's still pretty solid of a position. Because helping on Bullet Punch probably knocks out the Regidrago. And that's a really... Do I even have to target the Regidrago? I guess I could just Bullet Punch to Scizor. They go for a Tailwind, which is fine. Because Bullet Punch is knocking out the Landorus, and the speed doesn't matter if I have priority. That is just threatening knockouts. So Bullet Punch is going to eliminate the Landorus. So Landorus is just gone. Obliterated. Goodbye, Lando. And then Iron Head going to finish up the Torn. And now they're going to bring in what? Regidrago Golden Go? Like, what else could he have? Don't tell me it's Indy Regidrago, which is actually, I mean, Indy plus Golden Go, which is fine if it is Indy. I'm very shocked that they brought Indy this late into the game. But yeah, Regidrago, yeah, had to be. Yeah. I don't think Specs attacks can pick up a knockout here. I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is still a little bit weird because they can protect the Regidrago. And I guess with the tail and up, the numbers do change a little bit. Actually, Make It Rain is really threatening here. I kind of want to just Helping Hand Bullet Punch with Scizor and Bullet Punch the Regidrago. Make It Rain is so strong. If they Terra Steel, Read Me, and Protect, it's over. I think I have to call what I think I still have to call whether there's a Protect involved. I think I'm gonna Bullet Punch the Regidrago though. Let's see. No Terra at all. So what are they going for? No Protect. Ah, okay. Bullet Punch is gonna come out into the Regidrago. Goodbye, Regidrago. I could have Bullet Punched the Golden Go for an always knockout, but I was scared of how much Dragon Energy did. Maybe I should have still done it though. Because I could have Iron Headed with the Perrserker. Maybe the play was just a Bullet Punch the Golden Go, Terra Steel my Perrserker, and go for the Iron Head. And then Dragon Energy might not be able to finish off both Tatsugiri and... Actually, yeah, that was probably the better play. I definitely misplayed the end game then. But I think by not going for a Terra with either... Like, at least Terra Regidrago if you're attacking in that position, I think. Because you're both Steel and your Dragon, so it doesn't matter. You kind of just need the damage output at that turn. You need to make sure you get knockouts, but... Yeah, I kind of forgot about the Make It Rain potential endgame with Terra Steel since they did have Terra around, so that was definitely a mistake. But Scizor just Bullet Punching through the team, didn't care about Tailwind, just knocking it out, and no Entity definitely made that a lot easier. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, Scizor Perrserker was absolutely crazy with the Bullet Punch able to destroy most of my opponent's team, while the taunt from the Perrserker prevented the Goodra from being able to set up its iron defenses, which allowed me to just clean up the slots with Scizor, do a ton of damage without taking too much back. In game 2, I caught the Flutter Mane turn 1 with a really strong play, and then the rest of the turns I ended up getting wrong. However, thankfully, I just ended up getting enough damage to where my opponent was really weakened. I was able to get good damage into Tornadus into the Urshifu. And even though I wasn't able to utilize the Dondozo nearly as well as I would have liked, Scizor plus Perrserker was able to clean up the end game. In game 3, this team really threw me for a loop. The big turns, I think, was just being able to get momentum, being able to chip away at my opponent's team, get rid of the Sneasler on the Bullet Punch switch, and then being able to eliminate Sliverwing with the Helping Hand of Bullet Punch Terra Steel from my Scizor, even with Tablets of Ruin from the Wo-Chien. In game 4, I didn't realize how much of a threat Golden Go was because this one was Terra Steel plus Make It Rain alongside Regidrago. This ended up making a really tricky matchup because Dondozo can only take so much damage and this isn't a specially defensive Dondozo. I ended up having to play a bit of a weird position where it might have actually just been better turn 1 to hope that they went for Thunderbolt instead and kind of had to read the turn, which I unfortunately got wrong, but I was able to get enough damage into Golden Go to put it in Bullet Punch range. Then afterwards, Scizor was able to break through their team because I ended up getting a lot of damage, thankfully, but it definitely could have gone a wrong way. I think one play that would have helped seal the game, I think, was going for Bullet Punch into the Golden Go because the Golden Go was choice locked, could not protect. I could Bullet Punch it and then go for the Terra Steel Iron Head into the Regidrago. Hopefully, I live a Dragon Energy from the Terra Dragon Dragon Energy if they did go for it, and then get the Iron Head to put in range of allow me to survive a Dragon Energy after they got chipped with Tatsugiri or Perrserker remaining. But I do think it was pretty tough, and it still might have been a 50-50 endgame because even a Perrserker Iron Head play and Bullet Punch and Golden Go might not have been guaranteed. The damage from Steely Spirit with the Scizor combination really impressed me. I did not know some of those damage calcs, and it ended up being insane with all the multipliers that we were just able to get with the Scizor. Like the Scizor Perrserker was actually more MVP than the Dondozo, which I was a little bit concerned about utilizing this team. But very fun combination. If you do want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. You can check out the details of the team and the creator down below description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.